You ready? And we're live.
All right. Good morning, everybody. This is the December 20th, 2023 Coastal Permit Administrator hearing. This is the last meeting of the year, I'll point that out, for the Coastal Permit Administrator. And let me start off by saying that the Mendocino County Coastal Permit Administrator meetings will be conducted at 860 North Bush Street, Ukiah, California, and virtual attendance will be available via Zoom. Meetings are live streamed and available for viewing on the Mendocino County YouTube page. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order at 10:01 a.m. May I please get a determination of noticing?
A legal notice has been determined on each matter on the agenda.
Thank you. That brings us to the first item on the agenda, item 3A, case CDP 2022-0006. Owner applicant is Renee Holes. Agent is Dan Stone 3D's Design. The request is a standard coastal development permit for a new well, expansion of the on-site septic system, roof-mounted solar panels, and the construction of a private garage and living space attached to an existing single-family dwelling. Project has been reviewed under CEQA and determined to be categorically exempt. Project is located within the coastal zone, 0.67 plus minus miles north of the Cleon Town Center on the northeast side of Ward Avenue, 0.54 plus minus miles north of its intersection with State Route 1, located at 25,101 Ward Avenue, Fort Bragg. Assessor's parcel number 069-141-12. Now please get a staff report.
Certainly. As indicated, this project is located on the northeast edge of the Cleon Acres subdivision, approximately 0.7 miles north of Cleon. It is northwest of State Route 1, but inland of an unnamed road running along the coast. The parcel is landscaped and developed already with a single-family dwelling and accessory structures, as are the surrounding parcels in the subdivision. Northeast of the parcel is McCarrasher State Park, separated from the parcel by a tree line. This is shown on several maps, including the image on page 2. The project was referred to responsible agencies on September 5th, 2022. The Northwest Information Center at Sonoma State did not recommend an archaeological survey, although the Sherwood Band of Pomo Indians indicated that they would be the most likely descendants for any remains found in the area, and support the inclusion of the Discovery Clause. This was included as Condition 7 in the packet. The County Department of Transportation requested resurfacing of the driveway to bring it to county standards, and also stated that an encroachment permit is needed for any work done in the county right-of-way. These have been included in Conditions 4 and 9. The California Department of Fish and Wildlife commented that the site is previously disturbed and requested removal of invasive plant species, and that native species be planted if landscaping occurs. This recommendation is implemented by Condition 10, requiring that a biologist survey the property and establish a list of existing invasives to be removed. A biological scoping survey had been prepared for this project, but no such list was included in that, so it needs to be captured here. In addition to these comments, staff also noted that although the site is not designated highly scenic, McCarrasher Park is, and light intrusion could potentially occur, hence the inclusion of Condition 8 requiring any light be shielded or otherwise contained. Staff also noted that minor grading will be required to accommodate this project and recommends Condition 11, requiring Ps for erosion control. Continued residential use of the rural residential site. Staff also finds the project to be categorically exempt from CEQA, as it is comprised entirely of new construction of accessory structures and minor alterations to land. With that, staff recommends approval of the project as conditioned.
Thank you. Do we have the applicant online?
No.
No. And Rob, I think you said something that the applicant may not be able to attend?
Yes, I confirmed yesterday that the applicant was aware that this meeting was going to occur and let them know that their attendance wasn't necessary, but they could attend either in person or by telecomment. And they said they didn't actually indicate whether they would be attending or not, but they said that they are anxiously awaiting this next step so they can move ahead with their plans to improve our home. So if they are not in attendance, I would recommend not continuing this, but simply moving forward, considering it.
All right, thank you. So with that, I'll go ahead and bring it back to the CPA and open up the public hearing. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak on this item, CDP 2022-0006 for Renee Holes?
Nobody's raising their hand.
Seeing none, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. And thank you for the presentation and summary. Excuse me. So with that, based on the evidence provided, including the findings of fact in the staff report and the recommended conditions of approval, I'll go ahead and approve the project based on findings and conditions in the staff report. Rob, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Losing my voice. Okay, that brings us to item 3B. CDP 2023-0026. Excuse me. Owner is Judy Baldonado. Applicant is Catherine Haley. Agent is Catherine Haley and Mill Whiteside. The request is a standard coastal development permit to construct a 1,992 square foot, 2-bedroom, 1-story, single-family residence with 2-car garage, install septic tank and leach field, grading for new driveway and encroachment, and 30-inch privacy screen. This project has been reviewed under CEQA, and it's been determined that a mitigated negative declaration is required and has been prepared for the project. Project is located in the coastal zone, 3.6 plus or minus miles north of the town of Manchester, 0.9 plus minus miles north of the intersection of Irish Beach Road, excuse me, and State Route 1, located at 15161 Irish Beach Drive, Manchester, Assessor's Parcel Number 132050-09. May I please get a staff report?
Yes, good morning. Mark Kleiser, staff planner for this project. Before I begin my presentation, I'd like to note a couple errors in the staff report. On page 3, paragraph 1, the last sentence, the staff report indicates CDFW's comments have been incorporated under conditions number 17 and 18. That should be conditions number 16 and 17. As well, on page 4, under Habitats and Resources section, the conditions should be 16 and 17. And finally, on page 5, under the Transportation section, the conditions of approval should be 14 and 15. So moving forward, as stated, this project is for the construction of a 1-story, 2-bedroom, single-family residence with a 2-car garage, installation of septic and leach, grading for a new garage and encroachment, and a 30-inch privacy screen. The project is bordered on the east by State Route 1 and to the west by Irish Beach Drive. It's situated atop bedrock with minimal slope changes between the east and west sides of the property. The site is predominantly covered by native coastal grasses and sits approximately 210 feet above sea level. Per the ESHA survey, there are no special status species on site. However, 2 special status birds have the potential to occur on site. In order to avoid impacts to these species, conditions of approval 16 and 17 have been included. Water will be provided by the Irish Beach Water District. The applicant proposes a septic system to the east of the residence with leach fields located to the west. The proposed 30-inch privacy screen is located on the northern side of the residence between the neighboring home and will curve south for approximately 30 feet. The project is located in the Irish Beach subdivision and was approved by their Architectural Design Committee on March 25th, 2023. On June 5th, 2023, the project was referred to responsible agencies. CDFW requested that construction activities and vegetation removal occur during the dry season or dry periods, and that pre-construction nesting bird survey should be performed no more than 14 days prior to initiation of ground disturbances. This has been captured in conditions of approval 16 and 17. No other comments of concern were received from responsible agencies. As noted, a mitigated negative declaration was prepared for the project, and based on the available project information present at the time of this evaluation, the project can be adequately mitigated through the conditions of approval so that no significant adverse environmental impacts will result from this project. The project is consistent with the goals and policies of the local coastal program, and it is appealable, pardon me, to the Coastal Commission. Staff recommends approval of the project, and this concludes my presentation, and I am available for questions. Thank you.
I do have a question. Finding number 4 on page CPA 6 of the staff report. Should that be modified to say conditions 16 and 17?
I'm going there now, but if it says 17 and 18, yes, that should be corrected to 16 and 17.
Okay, because there is no condition 18, and this is pertaining to the mitigation measures for biological resources.
Correct. I'm looking at it now, and that should be corrected to 16 and 17.
Okay. All right. Do we have the applicant online?
Yes, we do.
Ms. Haley, do you want to go ahead and add anything to what's been discussed here? And then I would ask you to identify yourself for the record.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, my name is Catherine Haley, Haley Whiteside Design, and we are representing Junie Baldonado for his project. I don't really have anything unless you have questions for me. It seems like the only conditions, the conditions that are most applicable are the only construction only during the dry season, with the possible scoping for nesting birds prior to construction during even the dry season. Those are the major question, I guess, that I have relative to moving forward with this project.
So I'll ask staff to interject and include any comments on that.
These comments were included, Mark Kleiser, planner on the project. These comments were included at the request of CDFW. Not being a biologist, I am deferring to CDFW's request for these conditions.
So basically what this requires is consultation with CDFW to implement those mitigation measures of conditions 16 and 17. Does that answer your question, Ms. Haley?
Yes, that does. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else from the applicant that wishes to speak on this matter? If not, I'm going to go ahead and open up the public hearing. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak on this item, CDP 2023-0026? Seeing none, no hands raised, I'll go ahead and bring it back to the CPA. And based on the evidence provided in the staff report and the mitigated negative declaration, including the comments from staff modifying the conditions of approval noted in the staff report, but mostly Finding number 4 should be changed to read conditions 16 and 17. Conditions still remain the same, so I will go ahead and approve CDP 2023-0026 based on the modifications in the staff report and the modifications to the findings. Ms. Haley, the project is approved.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too. Thank you. That brings us to the next item. Which is CDP 2023-0028. Owner is Charles Buchanan. Applicant is Donald Buchanan. Agent is Megan Durbin. Wind Coastal Planning. The request is a standard coastal development permit to replace an on-site septic and wastewater disposal system for an existing 4-bedroom single-family residence in the coastal zone. Project has been determined to be categorically exempt from CEQA. The project is located in the coastal zone within the town of Elk, lying west of Highway 1, 0.43 plus minus miles north of its intersection with Philo Greenwood Road, located at 5800 South Highway 1 Elk, Assessor's parcel number 127-18101. Now please get a staff report.
Good morning. Susan Summerford, project planner for CDP 2023-0028. I just want to call out a couple of things. We posted a memo with a few corrections to the staff report, as well as a response to public comments, and I'll read them out now. On page 2, under the public services section, instead of the water district being Elk County, it should say Elk Water District. Also on page 4, under the grading, erosion, and runoff section, the sentence should read, at this time, the project does not propose grading amounts that would require an air quality permit. The T was left off. And on page 5, the first condition of approval needs to have this sentence interjected into it and read, this action shall become final on the 11th day following the decision unless an appeal is filed pursuant to section 20.544.015 of the Mendocino County Coastal Code. The new sentence added in is as follows. The permit shall become effective after the 10 working day appeal period to the Coastal Commission has expired and no appeal has been filed with the Coastal Commission. CDP 2023-0028 shall expire and become null and void at the expiration of 2 years after the effective date, except where construction and use of the property in reliance on such a permit has been initiated prior to its expiration. As well, there was a public comment that was received and posted on the public website. And in the memo, it was from the neighbor to the north, Mr. Segisio, regarding the location, the proposed location of the septic tank. And in the earlier iteration of the staff report, the site plan that was referenced was not included. The updated and published staff report did, however, include the site plan. And I have been in contact with Mr. Segisio, as well as the memo that was posted this morning represents a public response to the comment received.
So question, has the comment that Mr. Segisio raised, has that been adequately addressed with the neighbor?
I believe it has. He indicated to me via email that he was in contact with Wind Coastal Planning and did discuss his concerns as well. I forwarded him the proposed septic design, and I believe it to be resolved. I don't know if he is on the line today. Can we see that?
I do not see him in the guest area.
Okay, so the other bit was just respect to property line and bluff top, but I think that his comment to me was that as long as the proposed septic site plan was adhered to, there shouldn't be an issue. It was during construction, he was concerned about geological or location from the bluff. But as seen on the proposed site plan, it is 135 feet as required.
Okay. So with that, I'll let you go ahead and continue with the staff report.
Okay. Thank you. Let me find it. So as indicated, this is a standard coastal development permit with a request for replacing an on-site septic and wastewater disposal system for an existing 4-bedroom, single-family residence in the coastal zone. It has been deemed categorically exempt under CEQA pursuant to guidelines section 15302C. It was routed to jurisdictional agencies on August 7th and received no comments back except for the Environmental Health Department in Fort Bragg is requiring the septic permit. This is a requirement of said permit, and the Northwest Information Center received, I apologize, sent a comment letter and said that no survey was required. Of course, the standard discovery clause is always applicable. In the findings and conditions, staff has found that this proposed project is in conformance with the local coastal plan and with all applicable sections of the Mendocino Coastal Zoning Code, and we recommend approval. I am available for questions or for any clarifications I can provide, save for the geotechnical information.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
In your memo dated December 20th, where it references page 5, first condition of approval should read. I'm looking at the conditions of approval here. So basically that language would substitute for what's in condition number 1, correct?
It was, one sentence was omitted from that standard condition that spoke to the appealable, the time of the appealable period for the Coastal Commission.
I guess my question is, are we amending condition 1?
We are amending condition 1. We are inserting a sentence, or we can replace the whole thing, but there's really just one sentence that's different.
Okay. That's all I need. All right, just for clarification. So with that, do we have the applicant online?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
I actually have 2 of them. Amy too.
Mm-hmm. Ladies, go ahead. Please identify yourself for the record.
Hello, thank you for your time. This is Megan Durbin, Senior Planner with Wind Coastal Planning and Biology, agent for the applicant. We don't have anything further to add here for questions or any clarifications. We did speak with Mr. Segacio and his partner back, in November when this project was originally set for hearing, but the legal notice, we had to delay because of the legal notice not being done. So I do believe that, in going over the site plan with the Segacios and explaining, what everything meant and where everything was, I do believe that their concerns were resolved at that time as well. So other than that, just here for any further questions.
Okay, thank you. Amy, did you want to add anything?
No, thank you very much.
All right, so I'll go ahead and open up the public hearing at this point in time. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak on CDP 2023-0028? Seeing none, I'll return it back to the CPA, and based on the information provided in the staff report, I will go ahead and approve CDP 2023-0028 with the modification of condition number 1 to read, "This action shall become final on the 11th day following the decision unless an appeal is filed pursuant to Section 20.544-015 of the Mendocino County Coastal Code. The permit shall become effective after the 10 working day appeal period to the Coastal Commission has expired and no appeal has been filed with the Coastal Commission. CDP 2023-0028 shall expire and become null and void at the expiration of 2 years after the effective date, except where construction and use of the property in reliance on such permit has been initiated prior to its expiration." So with that, project is approved, and only modification to condition number 1. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nash.
Thank you. So with that, move to item number 4, matters from staff. Do we have any matters from staff?
I don't have anything.
Nothing? All right, matters from the public. Item number 5, the Coastal Permit Administrator welcomes participation in meetings. This is the item limited to the matters under the jurisdiction of the Coastal Permit Administrator which are not on the posted agenda, and items which have not already been considered by the Coastal Permit Administrator. So no action will be taken. Seeing none, I'll move to item number 6, which is adjournment, and I will go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 10:27 a.m. Thanks, everybody.